Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. We have got ourselves a virtus.pro taking on 3D Max. We also have got a long time for the first pick for virtus.pro. Just checking, there was some issues with people disconnecting and connecting back in, so just checking if everybody was still there. They were. Before we give comment on the draft though, here is a short rundown of how things are standing right now. 3D Max, they are not doing too well. They are very low at the bottom and they need to win, I think, at least one more game and then hopefully another one to make sure that they're not going to get dropped out to Pro Series. The bottom two are always going to be dropped down to Pro Series. The two above that will have to play regulation matches to still stick into Star Series. At 3D Max, they wanna just stick in Star Series, so they want to win matches. For virtus.pro though, it is they're sitting good right now. They are the only team that still have to go up against one of the top teams. They still have to go up on against Mouse on Thursday. They kind of have to win every match from now on to not have to still have a guaranteed spot. Because if they lose one of the matches that's still happening, they will be on par with Empire, and that will actually give Empire a chance to still be going to Kiev, because only the top 4 goes to Kiev. Of course, if Mouse Sports loses against virtus.pro later on in the week, then they will be the same level as Empire. So there is still a lot of things possible with those 3 teams there. Wow. And we're gonna see if virtus.pro can keep the situation the same, or if they're already gonna be behind before that match against Mousesports, because we know 3D Max is a team that is very strong. We saw them yesterday being very strong. We know them as a team that can pull a lot of upsets. They have done so in the past. They have played rock strong, rock solid, I should say, and let's see if they can do it again. Of course, virtus.pro, not the easiest of opponents. And we're gonna see how they're gonna be doing up against that. I guess it's another, at least as far as the rankings go, it's another giant or a David versus Goliath kind of thing, which we saw in the previous game as well, of course, which definitely was Goliath triumphing over David. But let's see if the same is gonna happen in this scenario. We have got the Darkseer for the first ban for virtus.pro, Wisp and Nyx and Cuddle the other bans, and that will give space for Batrider to make it through. virtus.pro had the first pick. So they picked up that Batrider. Lifestealer and Rubik were the pickup for 3D Max. And they're going to have to deal with the Gyrocopter and the Bane, a solid combination that we see often. As well together with each other, of course, with the Rocket Barrage going through the Nightmare and stuff, giving the chance for Gyrocopter to actually stand next to his target when he starts casting that. As well as, of course, the Bane up against the Lifestealer, a very strong hero to have, because it just shuts him down completely. Now, one thing that we do have to note is that a Rubik is already up on 3D Max, and a Rubik, I mean, he can steal that Fiend's Grip very easy, because Fiend's Grip is a channeled spell, and channeled spells are one of the easiest spells to steal. Magnus is going to be picked up by 3D Max, so some teamfight potential is right there. virtus.pro, they ban out the Queen of Pain and not wanting to be facing that one in the mid lane. You might have to say with virtus.pro, like, they have got the Batrider, who could be either mid or jungle or solo somewhere. Basically, he could do anything. The Gyrocopter, who could go mid or on a tri-lane. I kind of expect him to go at least on a dual lane / tri-lane because of that Bane. The combination is just very, very nice to have. But virtus.pro, they keep on banning mid lane heroes, with the Puck now also out of the pool. The Clockwork is the ban out for 3D Max, no surprise there. They already have to deal with the Lasso and the Fiend's Grip, and they don't want to be also dealing with those power cogs. I mean, Lifestealer is going to have a tough enough time as it is, with the 2 abilities for virtus.pro that already go through that rage. Let's see what the next ban out is for 3D Max. Are they going to ban out a support, or are they going to ban out another long lane? I mean, a support is still, could be something that virtus.pros could be looking at.
10 seconds remaining.
You could ban out something like, well, basically any support. Actually, like a Lina or a Leshrac would be nice.
Remaining.
I mean, you have got the Nightmare, Split Earth, or a Light Strike Array could be very easily followed up. And if you want to choose between those two, if you want to ban out one of those, you could probably ban out Alina best, because the Leshrac is not that bad to give that away, because if the Rubik manages to steal that Split Earth, he's actually going to have a better stun than Leshrac himself, so it's not too bad if they let it go through. Though, of course, the combination is still very strong on the lane, and on the lane, Rubik is not level 6 just yet. And they're taking their time, taking into their bonus time quite heavily for this pick, actually. And it's gonna be the Bounty Hunter, so still an offlaner. Still expecting that Batrider to be taken on the mid lane. And then put the Gyrocopter on a duo / tri lane. well, tri-lane in this case, otherwise they might have been banning out some jungle heroes. We still have every single jungle hero in the game, as in the solid ones that we are used to seeing, so the Chen, Enchantress and the Enigma. The next banning coming from virtus.pro. Is it going to be another solo lane mid? Because, I mean, the Magnus could be taking on that solo lane if they really wanted to. And they could also be putting him on the off lane, of course. And it's going to be a support. It's going to be a Shadow Demon. Quite surprising, but maybe it's going to be giving away that virtus.pro might be sending that Gyrocopter mid, and therefore going to go for a Phantom Lancer still together with the Bane on the lane. It could be possible. A lot of different possibilities, of course, with virtus.pro. They could even go for 2 dual lanes still. I mean, it's all open. But yeah, Shadow Demon is considered to be a support that is not really a counter towards Shadow Demon, but definitely very strong. I mean, you're not going to be winning the game purely because you got a Shadow Demon. No, you're going to actually have to have yeah, you have to have more than just a Shadow Demon. It's going to be an Undying. That's the last ban out. virtus.pro picking up the Nature's Prophet. So I've got some extra jungle potential as well as the off lane, kind of indicating that Batrider is indeed going to be going onto that mid lane. And of course denying the Nature's Prophet to 3D Max, because of course, well, I was going to say Storm Spirit, but I mean Nature's Prophet. Storm Spirit does the same thing, but Nature's Prophet and Lifestealer has been a combination that we've seen picked up very often, with just Lifestealer jumping into the Nature's Prophet and then just, you know, ganking somewhere. Global Vengeful Spirit pickup. Now that's been a while. That's definitely been a while. It does, of course, help out with the Bane Fiend's Grip to stop that from happening. And the Solid Stun is also always nice to have. Wave of Terror, definitely okay. She has to be very careful though, because she is not the most survivable of heroes. So we're gonna see how she's gonna be doing in this lineup, and if she's gonna be able to get herself back into the meta, I should say, because you know she's not been that big of a favor. But who knows? Maybe if she does really well.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
And there's gonna be reserve time for the first time for virtus.pro. Thinking about their last hero pick, like in theory they were already done with lanes. They could pick up anything they really want to, because they could even still pick up another solo lane and just send Batrider or Nature's Prophet into the jungle. And just pick up something that they just really like to play. Jungle hero on itself, still possible. Enigma. Tidehunter. But also still lean out of the Shrek if they want to make it into an aggressive tri-lane, which is very much possible. Even though a Rubik and a Vengeful Spirit and a Lifestealer is a very tough tri-lane to be up against if you're going to be going for an aggressive tri-lane, because not only do you have to deal with the rage of the Lifestealer, you also have 2 supports that can just shut your entire attempt down for trying to go for someone with the Telekinesis Wind and with the Magic Missile. So virtus.pro thinking this through. How are they going to lane it? How are they going to be well, playing the game? And it's an Alchemist. It is interesting to see that Alchemist. We've seen him a couple of times in StarLadder. Definitely, we've seen him actually being played together with a Lifestealer quite often. Well, at least twice, and both times are very memorable because they were very enjoying matches to watch for the same reason. But you'll be knowing what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you watch a game between Fnatic and Rox KAS, which happened earlier in the season. You can find it on my YouTube, on youtube.com/SheeverGaming. So check that game out for sure if you have some free time. But what kind of Alchemist is it going to be? That's the question. That's the question. But it could actually be Nature's Prophet or Batrider still in the jungle, Gyrocopter mid, and then Alchemist farming together with the Bane. It could be Alchemist mid. We've seen that before as well. It's not very common, but it happens. Last big incoming for 3D Max. And they kind of need either a mid laner or a solo off laner, or even a solo safe laner if they want to go for an aggressive tri lane.
5 seconds remaining.
And they're taking down their time. It's going to be a Windrunner, so very safe solo long lane suicide laner. And that's going to indicate that we're going to see the Lifestealer probably going to be going towards the bottom lane. Mid lane for the Magnus, and the tri lane on the bottom lane for safety. With Rubik and Vengeful Spirit, maybe even roaming around a bit. They are, of course, 2 heroes with 2 disables, so they could definitely make something happen, especially if you look at virtus.pro lineup. There's a lot of heroes that only get strong after a couple of levels, and they could take advantage of that with the telekinesis and the magic missile. Basically, Bedrider is the only one that has a bit of an escape. Now let's see who's going to be playing what as I check if there's a different skin. Nope, there is not. We have got Doda. Doda. That is this game, you're right, Ness. So Ness is going to be playing the Bane. He's been called Vampire for a while now. We have Tema Wild playing the Bedrider. It will be Airman, called Illidan Stormrage here. Airman will be playing the Gyrocopter. KSI on the Alchemist. So KSI, he's normally playing a bit of a supportive role, and he did pull his teammates quite heavily. And the reason that he has got 2 healing cells might be because they want to go for a level 1 Roshan. Let's take a look at the rest of the inventories. No, well, I don't... maybe. I guess so. But yeah, an Alchemist on KSI, it makes me think that they want to go for a support Alchemist. But we're gonna see how much a support Alchemist actually can do. Oh dear. 3D Max, do they have any idea that this could be happening? They placed the ward. Did they see the Treants? I don't think so. Nope, they didn't. Santa's gonna be safe as well. Hayek just hang around waiting for that rune. Suspecting nothing. By the way, just look at that Bedrider with the iron around his wings. He's cool. He's cool. And the horn sounds. Let's see who's playing what for 3D Max. We've got Buller playing the Vance for Spirit. It will be Hayek on the Rubik. Noya playing the Lifestealer, who's gonna try to check for the rune. And he is not lucky because it's top. And we're gonna have the mid lane played by Hasta Joe Rotten, who's gonna be playing the Magnus. And on the top lane it will be Crit playing the Windrunner, and we do have the Gyrocopter, the one to pick up the Aegis. And now this is interesting because all of a sudden you have got the aggressive tri lane that, from what I said already, it's not going to be the easiest tri lane, but now you are a level ahead. You are level 2. And that is such a big disadvantage for those level 1s. It is really a big disadvantage for 3D Max. We're going to see how they're going to be doing with that. Nature's Prophet already TPing in behind Crit because he's got the double damage rune. This might actually be a first blood. Windrun away should be able to be safe, but wow, that potential already clear as day. And it's gonna be tight to see who's gonna be getting the first blood. As in, is it gonna be virtus.pro trying to go for a kill on the bottom lane and actually accidentally overextending? As I said, there's a lot of disable up on 3D Max, and they can counter initiate with that as well. So virtus.pro have to be careful. Or is it gonna be the mid lane where Tamar Wild is getting 4 stacks of sticky napalm off the Magnus, and that is dangerous stuff right there. Is it gonna be Airman further able to harass Crit a bit? Even in theory, nobody should die on this top lane though. Crit should be just fine. Maybe with the level disadvantage, then it will be too much. And actually, looking for a bit of harassment here. Maybe Hayek wants to go for something. If they want to go for someone, going for the Bane is probably the best here. He is the one that, if someone goes, for example, on Airman or on KSI, he is the one that's going to put someone in the Nightmare to make sure they can't continue going on that person. But if you initiate on that Bane, you get a telekinesis up on him, he can't Nightmare anybody, and you have to wait for KSI to load up his stun, which is all fine, but he's not as reliable, not as fast. So we're going to see probably if 3D Max is going to intend to try and take someone down, it's going to be up on an S. In the meantime, the ward is there. They're trying to look for it, but it's hidden. It is hidden. And they don't have ways to break the trees. Not at the moment anyway. Invisibility rune gonna be picked up by the Bedrider, who's gonna come in here to take the rune. And Noya's gonna be landing some harassment here up on Vampire. NS, wow. But it's gonna get harassed way more in return. The lane all pushed out towards the tower. It's not going to be bad for Emin at all. He is 7 for 2. Which on an aggressive tri-lane is definitely decent. Up against Noya, who's 5 for 1. In the meantime, we have got Tamar Wild still landing the harassment. He's 15 for 3. With Hasta Joe being 8 for 2. I have to say though, like this lane in general should be in favor of the Bedrider. Bedrider is banned out because he is such a strong solo laning hero. And regardless on what lane he is at, he normally wins most of his lanes. But as long as Hesta Joe can get levels and not die, he is actually getting an okay trade-off for this lane. Especially if he's also getting a couple of lasses. We saw him looking for that skewer, but it's just that turn rate is just too annoying. In the meantime, on the top lane, Santa is on 12 for 5 with Crit being on 8 for 3. So in all lanes, virtus.pro pulling up ahead. And as I said, in the top lane, we should not, in theory, see someone dying. But that will all depend on how those two heroes are being played. Because it all comes down to skill on those solo lanes at some point. And the calls, the decisions. Oh, looking for that nightmare. They're gonna TP, and here comes the sun as well for KSI. Needs that vision, finds it up on Buller. There we go. And that is gonna be a no nightmare, no nothing. They're gonna be fate rolling it through. There's the first blood. It's still gonna be Buller to go down. Rocket Barrage up on Hayek. Hayek is not gonna be able to live through that one. Kill off for NS. All of a sudden, 4 people on this bottom lane, and it's Noya that's getting forced away from his own tower. Can't even stand near his tower. Is gonna try to TP himself out. Rage TP should be enough for him to get away. And he TPs towards his tier 2. Pops himself and is gonna be going into the jungle. He cannot lose more farming time. And that was of course the first TP that Santa did. 2 kills on the board for virtus.pro. Airman, yeah, I was gonna say, taking a lot of... Oh! Well, you know, yeah, Nations anyway, I guess. Otherwise, it probably would have been a bit less, less ballsy with that. We do have a kill up on Tamer Wild. He managed to kill off the Magnus. You can imagine how that went. I mean, this tax at some point to go too far. The last who was actually there for Tamer Wild to help out with that kill. And no level 6 shot of the Magnus, so that's gonna be him not having an RP yet to turn things around. So we do have Noya back to farming. 9 for 1. Telekinesis up on NS. Trouble. Stun. In tower range. Here comes the TP. They don't have that level 6 yet. The stun is being charged up by the Alchemist. Gets one up on Magnus. TP in for Santa. Those proud up for the Magnus. Rocket Barrage going through as well. Airman. He wants to turn this around. Can do that. That is indeed a kill for Airman. He also picks up a kill on the Rubik with the Alchemist getting the last hit there because of his acid spray. And they just probably the ultimate bouncing through. Doing a lot of damage to this Vengeful Spirit. They don't have the vision at the moment. They do have it now. Nightmare. Nope. Just a brain sap. Nightmare could still stop the Lifestealer from running away, but I don't think NS is going to be able to get in range anymore. Tower goes down, 6 for 1 in favor of virtus.pro. And they're looking strong, and this is looking to be like a game that we saw in the previous one, where one team, the David and the Goliath song, things, theory, fairy tale, is just not working out so far for 3D Max. Now, of course, when that Magnus gets level 6, things might be turning around. They just need to get a couple of good RPs off and then try to turn the bottom lane around, because the bottom lane right now is where they are losing ground. Top lane is still okay. We still have the Windrunner getting some farm, especially now that Santa is out of the way. She gets some free farm, and that's definitely not bad. But it is virtus.pro that just pushing really hard. And look at Airman's farm. His net worth is 3k. Which is 1k higher than the highest up on 3D Max, which is not even their mid lane or their off lane or their safe lane. Oh, actually, it is their off lane, I mean, but it's not even their safe lane. So it is the Windrunner that is highest up on the net worth for 3D Max, but then still, yeah, quite a bit lower than the highest for virtus.pro, and actually being not even top. In the meantime, we have got Buller going down. Tamer Wild getting that one done. Looking for a last hoop, perhaps. Has got a couple of bottle charges. There's going to be a Nightmare to set things off. There is a last two, dragging away from the tower. There is no score anymore for Joe, and that turn rate is killing it right now. He might be able to get a kill. No, he cannot. NS being stunned up. Sprout up on Buller, though. He's going to pay for that one. Gonna go down. KSI coming in with the stun. And the rotation from virtus.pro almost flawless.
Top tower is under attack.
And able to get the pressure down on this tier 1 middle as well. And the only one that went down so far is that Bane. But that is it. That is it. Pause from KSI. And the Alchemist going for the urn. This is an aggressive Alchemist. Aggressive indeed. Look at that difference of gold per minute. It's insane. And this is only with one tower going down, so this is mostly the last hits and the kills. Then we have the go again. In the meantime, Windrunner taking her time. I wonder when she's gonna leave the top lane, when she's gonna feel like she's can do better, or can do more for her team with not being free farming but being somewhere else, like in team fights to help out with shackles and power shots, perhaps. Or maybe she's gonna wait until she has either a force staff or a mechanism to just be still trying to take those team fights after that. We got Tamer Wild 3 for 0 for 1, 1200 gold in his inventory. Probably gonna go for a blink dagger as we have on the bottom lane Noya. Still farming, this time by himself though. And he is the one with the 1 kill up on his up his sleeve, and he is also the one that has actually not died yet for 3D Max. So he is doing okay. The only thing he needs is time. Hey. I don't mean, oh god, I don't mean to, okay, disclaimer, I don't mean to insult anybody or anybody's religion by saying a fairy tale in the same sentence as I say David and Goliath. Thank you. Just to illustrate the difference between the teams, I use a reference from the Bible, and then I switch to a different reference, as in the underdog winning the game. For them, it's a fairy tale. Shackle doesn't latch. Nightmare up on crit. TP incoming from Santa. They really want to take crit down. They gotta have to deal with the rest of 3D Max as well, though. An RP, and it's on 3. Crit will still go down, but maybe 3D Max can get a bit of difference out of this one. But KSI lands a stun, kills off the Rubik with that one. Santa in some trouble. Cooldown coming down, trying to help him out. Nightmare gonna put him into safety for a little while. 70 HP left. It's gonna be Noya that's not gonna be able to chase him down. Oh, he doesn't need to chase him down with that infest damage from his own treants. But it was 4 heroes that died for that on 3D Max's side, and that is the first time that Noya went down. Look at these blood splats on the floor. Bloodbath. And Virtus.pro losing their second hero of the game. Gonna be able to take down the tier 1 tower after that fight.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And tier 1 middle might be next, as we already have Tamer Wild again there. His blink dagger being complete. Buller back on the bottom lane. Doesn't really have any items for himself. It's gonna be landing a stun up on Tamer Wild. Can they do something there? I don't think so. And actually, Buller, you better run. You're level 3. Shackle doesn't latch. Proud up on Buller, and that is gonna be him going down for sure. Tamer Wild picking up a kill. Telekinesis up on Santa, but he's not gonna die from that either. Can just run away this time. And it's gonna be Tamer Wild that's looking for more, but here comes Noya. Flame break. Gonna help KSI pick up Rubik. Gets a shackle in the face though. Partial to go through. We do have Santa getting picked up for the second time, but the rest of Virtus.pro, they are chasing down Crit. And Crit is gonna... Stick Charge is helping out. Power shot misses. Crit, one more hit, will be dying. At the same time, it was also still Hessa Joe that died. Now the Bedrider goes down. Noya getting himself another kill. As there were 2 kills there on the deck for 3D Max, and it is going to be Virtus.pro. Are they going to continue going for this one? Buyback from Tamer Wild. He's looking for revenge. It's going to blink. It's going to lasso. Gets it on Noya. Here comes the stun as well. And all but burst damage going through. No rage for Noya, and he just drops very fast. Tier 1 tower. Last one standing on 3D Max is going to go down.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And we do have, of course, the gold graph all like supporting the idea that Virtus.pro is just very far ahead, going towards the 12k. We have got the experience graph towards the 7,500, even above that, maybe even around 8.5. This was the gold graph, yeah, 12k right now. So very high up for Virtus.pro. No real surprise. They're gonna take down Roshan as well. Aegis is gonna go down for the second time to Airman, who's gonna pick it up on his Gyrocopter. I think there's different pronunciations. I have got a couple of comments that it should be Gyrocopter, like Gyropractor. But I think Gyrocopter is okay as well. Just different. Vengeful Spirit in some trouble. She's gonna be okay though. Tamer Wild might be still looking for her. Gonna find her. Hello. Ooh. Gonna get stunned up himself. He's gonna have to land a stun before she dies. Does do so. Gets the kill with that as well though. In the meantime on the top lane we're gonna see Crit. Fiend script up and going down. And Crit was the only one that was actually trying to get some farm on his team. Actually was able to get a farm on his team in general. We do now have Noya getting a bit more farm. He got 4 kills. All kills done by his team are done by him. So that is good. But he did die twice. He's not finding his last hits. And he is basically being shut down in the first 10 minutes of the game. He cannot farm anywhere freely on the map because he might get picked off. And that's not good right now. Lasso. Up on Hessa Joe. No RP for him. He's dead. Tamer Wild picking up another kill. And 3D Max, they're just not given any space. Any space to roll with their strategy. The aggression from Virtus.pro is just too much. They can't deal with this.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
An alchemist. Indeed, a supporty alchemist with also now a medallion of courage. But he's still doing okay. 2k gold up on the Bane Airman. Got himself 1k gold and picked himself up the Mithril Hammer. Might be going for a BKB. And they're just gonna go for a mid push. Santa now also coming in. Santa who's got himself the mechanism.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And then also Vlad's up on KSI. It's a really aura build. And it looks like 3D Max. They're getting ready to prepare themselves for their best fight of their life. They have like, if they get one good team fight, if they get one good RP going, this might turn it around. But he doesn't have a blink dagger, so he can't get that proper initiation. And better yet, he might get initiated on. And if he doesn't have a chance to pop his RP in a fight, that's basically it for 3D Max. They bank on that good RP. And virtus.pro, well, they don't really need to do anything anymore, but just sitting here, shutting down 3D Max by just sending their nice shackle. They might actually try to go in on that, but it's Tame Wild that blinks in up on Esther Joe. Jumps out for Noya, gets put in a Fiend's Grip instantly. Cooldown coming down, his High goes down. Buller is next, Grid's gonna try to run late for his lifetime, but will not be able to run anymore. Or will he? He's running very fast. The GG gets cold already, but we're gonna follow Crit. No, we're not gonna follow Crit. He's dead. Everybody dies. GG gets cold, and it's a 14-minute game. virtus.pro gonna be going on and gonna be getting those 3 points to their name, the ones that they need, the ones that they have right now, and the ones that they need also to still have a chance to go to Kiev. They're looking good right now. Their most important match is gonna come on Thursday, which is gonna be up against Mouse Sports. If they win that, they are guaranteed through. If they don't win that, they are on par with Empire, and who knows what happens when there is a tie, or who knows what happens when a team still is gonna make an upset, because that still can happen. If a team is gonna make a big upset against one of the top teams, everything can change. It might even give Na'Vi still a chance, depending on who their upset is gonna be up against. And we know that it can happen. It is best out of ones. We have seen upsets this Star Series Season 5. We have seen it often. I'm secretly hoping for it, because otherwise the rest of the games that we're going to be seeing for the rest of the week, apart from Mouse versus virtus.pro, are going to be a bit one-sided. But I'm kind of really hoping for maybe one upset, maybe two, just to see some really good Dota, perhaps some original Dota, as we're just waiting for the throne to explode. By the way, if you want to support me, please follow me on Twitter, on twitter.com/SheeverGaming. Just that, no YouTube needed. Just follow me on Twitter. That's all I ask. Twitter.com/SheeverGaming. I don't tweet useless stuff about my personal life. I tweet mostly about Dota 2 stuff. Mostly. Sometimes a personal tweet slips through, but only when I want it to. But yeah, follow me on Twitter, please. So it's very much appreciated. Anyway, let's jump ourselves out of this game, and well, there's no more games for StarLadder today, but I might be playing some matchmaking, but we'll see. Depends also on EMS1, because the EMS1 Cup number 4 is going to start today. So you might want to follow that one. It's going to be, of course, up on Epi's stream as well as on Toby's stream. And you can watch some more Dota there, more high-skilled Dota, because my Dota isn't that great. Anyways, here we go. Jumping out of this game. Stick around for commercials, as well as for maybe my own personal game. Commercial more important, though. Be back.